A few days ago, a former Spirit Airlines worker messaged James Charles and asked if he could help with her GoFundMe. But instead of simply saying no, James made a whole video mocking her and telling her to get a job.
I hear from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's the GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart.
That quickly caused a huge backlash because the girl had just lost her job and was only asking for around $1,600 to get through a difficult moment.
So I'm actually glad that the James Charles drama blew up just recently because I felt like it fueled so many important conversations and just added to the growing sentiment among many of us, regular working folks, that the time of the influencer is up. We're tired. And we see through all your schemes, tricks, and money grabs. We're tired of being used to fund your lavish lifestyle, only for you to turn around and treat us working folk like garbage. Because it's really us, the everyday 9-to-5ers, who even make being an influencer possible. So let's talk about the woman who got fired from Spirit Airlines and just needed a little help, a little empathy, but instead was humiliated by this influencer named James Charles and treated like her being laid off was some kind of moral failing. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. On this channel, we like to talk about today's trending topics or whatever happens to be on my mind. Either way, I am so glad that you're here. If you could just take a moment to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel, it would be much appreciated. So James Charles officially blew up the internet yet again. And I'm sure most all of you saw it and it really didn't surprise me at all. In fact, my initial reaction to his rant against the woman that was fired from Spirit Airlines was like, yeah, I feel like this was definitely planned. Even though people speculated that he might not have paid much attention to what he was doing, I feel like he knew what he was doing. He knew the type of reaction he was going to get. He knew that this was going to get engagement. He wanted a viral moment, and he got one. I don't know. When I see content creators like James Charles, I think these guys are pros. They know YouTube really isn't about morals or ethics or doing the right thing or being the good guy. YouTube is a business. And what keeps that business going? Engagement. It doesn't really matter if it's positive or negative. Actually, we all know that if it's negative, the more attention and the more engagement it's going to get. So to me, I just feel like a lot of content creators make very calculated, very shrewd moves in order to go negative and just piss people off. They expect the backlash. They prepare for the backlash. They expect the dip in followers, the loss of subscribers. But then they just rebound once everything has died down. So in the end, they're never really canceled. When all the dust settles, they're still rich and they can still rely on a large enough subscriber base to fund their lifestyle. And they live to see another day, just like James Charles has done before. At least that's how I read the whole situation when I first saw James Charles do that rant. I thought he's way too savvy to not know what he's doing. My initial reaction was like, okay, this just has to be some sort of audience manipulation because her asking for help didn't warrant all of this.
Why would I ever help you? You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God. Welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able-bodied. You're in a much better position than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I fucking help you? Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need the GoFundMe?
So this is just a snippet of the long rant that he went on. When he called this lady out of her name, he was so angry and so rude. People felt like this was in no way a proportionate response to somebody that was just asking for help. He could have simply ignored the woman's request and just said nothing. But again, to me, it felt intentional because the second post he made about this, he just doubled down and defended his behavior. Honestly, I feel like influencers like this feel like they have a lot of leeway. Like, you people can't cancel me. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to piss you off and still get paid. So what are you going to do about it?
I ended up deleting the video that I posted yesterday talking about people who send me GoFundMe links that have never followed, supported, DM me before, just begging for money. And most people were like, enjoying the video, saying it was a valid point, but it definitely started causing some discourse in the comments, and a lot of people were just saying it was out of touch and insensitive, and they're right. It was definitely out of touch, first and foremost. Okay, I am never going to be one of those influencers that gets online and pretends to be poor so I can come across as relatable to my audience. I think it's tacky, I think it's annoying, and I also think it's quite insulting to the audience watching, as if you guys are going to be fooled into thinking that.
I'm never going to pretend to be poor just so I can be relatable. People were asking you to pretend to be poor so you could be relatable. I wasn't getting that. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to pretend to be poor because that would be insulting to your audience. Okay. So again, all I heard in this stupid sorry, not sorry response was James Charles took a calculated risk. Pissed some people off, but benefit from the engagement while using his own followers to justify his point of view. It's been done so many times. But unfortunately for him, he gravely underestimated people's negative response to his posts and how many people would unfollow him. And you always know when a content creator's numbers have gone down enough, because what do they do next? When they lose followers and subscribers, you know what's coming. The apology video is coming next. I just knew the apology video was coming, and I just wanted to sit back with my popcorn and just watch everything play out like, child.
And the situation became even worse for James. Many viewers checked their TikTok accounts and realized they were somehow already following him, even though they did not remember doing it. Because of that, people started accusing James of paying TikTok to push forced follows onto users. After the claim spread, a mass unfollow wave began. In just about 12 hours, James lost around 4 million followers. That was when James finally panicked. He posted a crying apology video, sent the girl a private apology, and donated $5,000 to her GoFundMe. But the girl said she would not accept his apology. And honestly, that is why most people are not buying it. Last year, when TikTok was facing a ban, James also cried because he makes a lot of money from the app. So now many viewers believe he is not crying because he feels bad. They think he is crying because this girl made him lose followers, money, and control of his image. What do you think?
Again, you all know what I think. He thought he could control the negative attention, or at least withstand it. Sacrifice a few subscribers for the greater good, still get the engagement, still go viral, still get a check. But boy, was he wrong. And I was thrilled when I heard James Charles lost upward of 4 million subscribers, even though I was like, dang, he lost 4 million subscribers? How many subscribers does this man have? I don't follow him, thankfully, so I don't know. But I was like, wow, how many subscribers do you have to have if you just lost 4 million? Not like 4,000, which would be a lot to me. But he lost 4 million. And that's really what I was hoping would happen. That's why I always tell people that whenever you are on somebody's page and they offend you, I started with Kevin Samuels. Had no idea who he was, went on his page, and I was all on his page. And I spent all this time going down in the comments, writing about, you know, how I felt and all of this. And I felt like it was so heartfelt and all this. Then I realized that's stupid. They don't care, right? Like, the more you stay on their page, the more time you spend commenting, writing paragraphs, pouring your heart out, being angry, telling them off, doing all these things that you think are going to just sort of, you know, let them know how you feel, and you're going to speak your mind and you think it's doing something. The only thing it's really doing, as we all know at this point, right, is feeding the algorithm and giving them engagement and helping them to get paid. So what you do instead, and I learned this the hard way, right? What you do instead is you disengage. Make sure that you don't follow them on any platforms. If you do, unfollow, unsubscribe. And if you want information about what's going on with this, you know, any particular creator, go on other people's pages. That's what I did with James Charles. I saw many other creators like doing their little think pieces and deep dives, and I went on other creators' pages to get clips, to get information. Like when I went on TikTok, I refused to go on his TikTok. So you make sure that you don't engage in any way with their content. Go back and forth, rant, get everything off your chest on other people's channels and engage with other people that are talking about the content creator, but don't give any engagement to the actual content creator that is offending everybody, pay them dust, unfollow them from everything. And that's the only way that they're going to, that's really the only thing that they care about. Let's just be real. They don't give a damn about your opinion or how you feel, what you think is right or wrong. They just want to get paid. They just need the engagement. They just want to get paid. But then it seemed like James Charles thought, okay, I'll finally just give the people what they want. They want, a real serious apology. Here, let me just go and just say the thing that people are wanting me to say. Let me just, kind of lay it all on the line. Change this whole tune, because at first he was like, no, I'm doubling down. I know what I said. I stand behind what I said. And then he comes out and he's like, what I said was stupid. I'm so sorry. I was out of my mind. I don't know why I even said the things that I said. Okay. I was like, here we go. Here we go.
Speaking from a very privileged, obnoxious, ignorant standpoint, and for anybody that saw that video and was disappointed or upset with what I said, I am super sorry, especially to the woman from Spirit Airlines. I did try to look for her message earlier before making this video, and I couldn't find it. If you see this video and you want to get in touch, I would love to apologize to you directly and to help you out a little bit. But if you are not comfortable with that, I totally understand too.
I'm the girl that James Charles talked about in that video. Another question. Did James Charles really send you that message? He did. He decided to message me on TikTok and he wanted to privately apologize. I know another question on here is, do I accept his apology? So I'm just going to answer it right together. Hell no.
So here's what I think James Charles doesn't get. How much we, the audience, have overall fallen out of love with these influencers. People have soured on these brand trips that influencers get to take. They're disgusted with the amount of free merch that these influencers are offered. And all the sponsored ads are just a barely transparent money grab with no real honest input or opinions about the products that they're pushing. The tide is turning for the influencer. And James Charles came back on and pulled this stunt at the worst possible time because people are fed up, or at least that's what I think. But I could be wrong. He could still come out on top. He could still come out on top after all the dust settles because he's still going to remain rich and he may just gain back a lot of the followers that he lost. Ultimately, though, it's really up to us, not just us as in the audience, but us as in the consumer. It's really time for us to start to take our power back. Stop supporting people who just want to rage bait you and manipulate you in order to just fund their lavish lifestyle. Because we saw firsthand, if the shoe were on the other foot and it was you, the everyday working person that needed help from this influencer, and you reached out, this is how you would be treated. This is really what they think of you. This is what they think of all of us. As Kiki Chanel always says, we're just a cash grab for them. Kiki Chanel is one of my absolute favorite content creators. I never miss a single video that she puts out. So go on over to her channel after you're done watching this video, because she did really good. She did an excellent video on this whole James Charles drama. So be sure, again, after you're done watching mine, go on over to her channel and check out her content. She does a great job. But anyway, per usual, go ahead and drop down in the comments and let me know what you all thought about all this drama. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Hi guys, I'd like to just personally thank you all for sticking with me through this video. Your support of the channel is greatly appreciated. If you could be so kind as to just hit that like button, that would be fantastic. And if you'd like to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell for updates. And until next time, bye.